Levels good. Friday night. Levels good. Levels good. Levels good. We good? Friday night, baby. Y'all know what it is. Music night, Friday night. Here it is. Here it is. The 24th of the month. Now, to some of y'all might look at it like it's the 25th because we have actually crossed over into the threshold of Saturday. And because it's after 12 o'clock on the East Coast. But on the West Coast, which is the subject of the music show tonight, it's still the 24th because it's still in the 11 o'clock hour of the 24th of July. So Leo time, though, it's Leo season. Don't get it twisted. Best time of the year. Summer baby, stand up. Cancer, y'all did a good job. It's Leo time now. The real deal. Y'all know what it is. It's the real deal, baby. Ain't nothing nobody can do about that. And also Virgo coming up. Maybe. I don't know. I heard rumors. That it might stop at Leo's. Like, time may stay still. Like, y'all might not get a birthday this year. But those are just rumors. I don't know. Because I've been hearing this going on for a while. But we'll see. We'll see as time goes on. Anyway, everything is all good, man. Tonight, we're starting a series. The Pay Homage series. And we're going to start with the West Coast tonight. So we're going to talk about artists that are from the West Coast, whether you're talking about California or Oregon or Washington or Arizona, Nevada, New Mexico, the West Coast, 3 hours away from the East. If you're on Central Time, if you are on Central Standard Time, you are not the West Coast. So Colorado, don't be trying to, bust a move like y'all from the West Coast, because you're not. You far away from the East Coast, but you ain't far enough on the West to be the West. You have to, you have to be in the Pacific time zone. So anyway, we're going to talk about the impact that artists from the West Coast had on music. Y'all know, in hip hop in particular, y'all know the West Coast was really, really hot in the 90s. They took the 90s by storm, and a lot of people on the East Coast was upset about that, about the impact that the West Coast had on hip hop, because hip hop was invented in the Bronx, allegedly, because I've actually heard that it was invented in Brooklyn, and there's a lot of evidence to support that. But the Boogie Down Bronx created hip hop, and so we were used to the East Coast, running hip hop and deciding how hip hop was supposed to go, how it was supposed to be conducted, and then the West Coast, they said, look, we're going to do some things our way. We're going to introduce the reality rap, which turned out to be, misinterpreted as gangster rap, which we recognize today. That's what they brought to the hip hop scene. And not just that, but especially that. That's what they were noted for. So for years in the beginning of the 90s, all the way until I would say the West Coast was running the 90s, at least until the South started getting busy around 1997. People like to say that, well, it was really Puffy, P. Diddy, or whatever, who said that Biggie brought the East back. I've never bought that. I've never adhered to that. Wu-Tang was doing their thing when... Anyway. I mean, if you want to look at it that way, you can look at it that way. Jay-Z did start doing his thing toward the end of the 90s, with Hard Knock Life or whatever. But anyway, the West Coast is who we're going to talk about tonight. And but not just hip hop. Whether you're talking about R&B, because there are some West Coast based R&B groups, rock groups, and whatever that had a big impact on music. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. There may be a lot of groups out there, a lot of artists out there that you didn't even realize were from the West Coast. So, and some of them may have been your favorite artists. Or if they weren't your favorite, they might have been artists that you really, really liked. And we're going to talk about it tonight. Tonight, we're going to give them some shine. Maybe next week we'll do the East Coast. Maybe the week after that, we'll do the Midwest. Maybe after that, we'll do the Dirty South. I mean, depending on how we mix and match it. But tonight, we are talking about the West Coast. We paying homage. Homage series, baby. The West Coast. How many groups can you name from the West Coast that you actually cared about? I mean, you might be able to name some, but I think you should name the ones that you actually care about. And even if you didn't care about them, you probably wouldn't be able to deny the impact that they had, because there's a good chance that the impact that they had was strong, it was notable, and it deserved to be acknowledged. So we're going to make sure that they get their shine tonight. And we're going to have some fun. What's going on? Tori 2200. What up, man? It's always a good thing to see you. Always, always. And my brother Tom. My brother Tom is in the house. What's going on, my brother Tom? What's good? What's good? What's good, my brother? And Carla. Carla. What up, yo? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Now, to my knowledge, all of us right now who are visible are from the East Coast. But there's a good chance that we partied with people that represented the West Coast. I mean, the West Coast had some good artists. They did. Even if you didn't like the direction that they might have pushed us sometimes, especially when it came to hip hop. That doesn't mean that you didn't like anything that they were doing. Like Tony. Straight from the Bay Area and West Coast in California. Straight from the West Coast. And I love Tony. You know what I mean? That's my West Coast group. But they're not the only West Coast group that I like. They're more and in different areas of music. So we're going to get into it and get involved. These puzzle pieces right now, we going to solve, y'all. But let me ask y'all this. When it comes to the West Coast, like, what makes you a West Coast artist? Let's get that established. Because let's say you weren't born on the West, but you went to the West and made your impact from the West. Like, let's say the DOC. Let's say like the DOC. The DOC was actually from Texas. But he hooked up with Dr. Dre, and he got popular and big, rocking with NWA. Even before NWA was NWA, they were NWA in a posse. And he was writing rhymes for Dre and Eazy-E then. So he came into fruition and into prominence by way of the West Coast, but he's actually from the dirty South. I don't know if it gets any more South than Houston. So what does he represent? Because I think you'll be hard pressed to find any songs where he's representing Houston. I don't remember. Well, I don't know if he's from Houston. He's from Texas though. He might be from Dallas. Because isn't that how we knew Erykah Badu? It doesn't necessarily have to be like, they didn't have to be from the same town. Oh, man. Mr. Ab says, thoughts on LeBron signing with Philly? I don't know, man. I mean, I'm happy, but I'm confused. Like, what is LeBron James doing in Philly for $4 million a year? What's going on? What happened? You took a pay cut like crazy. 53 million? You went from 53 million and your son to 4 million a year, and people saying that's because he want to do it for Philly. He figures that Philly has the best chance to win a championship, and he wants to do it in Philly. I'm like, you know, I don't ever. Now I might be wrong. I might not be up on this, but I don't remember LeBron James having no special place in his heart for Philadelphia. Now, unless y'all know something that I don't know, but I don't remember that ever being the case. I mean, if he does, great, good for us. I'm wondering if having LeBron James on the squad makes us the squad. Now, some people are saying that we got the best starting five now. What do y'all think about that? Do we have the best? I'm sorry, something is distracting me, but I'm gonna get it together. We're gonna be all right. I don't know. I don't know if we have the best starting five. I don't know. You know, and we got Jaylen Brown, we got LeBron, we got Maxey, we got Embiid, and we got Edgecombe. Where's our bench? Because our Achilles heel has been the bench. And like with a squad, no, with Embiid, you got to have a bench because he's not going to be in the game. He's not going to be in the game all games. So listen, I as a Sixers fan, as a lifelong Sixers fan, I really hope it works. I'm not ready to jump out the window and say, yo, we definitely are finally going to end our 43-year drought of not having a championship. I'm not ready to say that. All right. Tom says, son, hands down, Philadelphia has the best starting five in the East Conference, and Jaylen Brown will come back to haunt my Boston Celtics. I hope you're right. I hope you're right. But are the Knicks going to not be good? I don't know. So, son, now you going too far. You said the starting five. You didn't say nothing about the bench. Sorry. But that's been our Achilles heel. It has. Health has been our problem because of Embiid. He can't stay healthy. What they say, your best ability is availability. Well, we haven't had no ability then. We haven't had with Embiid. We've had disability. He don't give us a chance to win, man. You know, what people say when he's in there, he's the best. He's the greatest. What you mean when he's in there? What kind of shit is that? The team was built around him, right? Now, we can't build a team around LeBron James. He's 40 years old. I don't know, yo. I don't know. What up, Missy? What's good? Good to see you. Now, we're going to see. But anyway, we're talking about the West Coast tonight. And for right now, LeBron James is coming from the West Coast. But yeah, what I was trying to ask y'all is, in order to represent the West Coast, do you have to be born in the West Coast? Now, I've been arguing with people for years, almost since 1996, about Tupac. Because Tupac was representing the West Coast, and he's not from there. He's just not from there. You can try to make him from there all you want. You know, people saying things like, well, you're from where the love is. I'm like, come on, man. So people in New York love me. Am I from New York, though? People even say I have a New York accent instead of a Philly accent. Does that make me? What New York schools did I go to? What block did I live on? If I go to Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, Bronx, Harlem, Manhattan, who's going to be like, oh, that's the boy's son. Yo, what's up, Doug? So, yeah. He was doing his thing with Digital Underground and and all of that. But he didn't make it to the West Coast until he was 17 or 18 years old. He died at age 25, and he moved back to the East Coast. He had a crib. When he got locked up on the East Coast in New York, like where he came from. Corrupt wasn't from the West Coast, but he rep it. It's different with Corrupt. Corrupt went to the West Coast when he was young. Like Tupac got to the West Coast when he was 18. At the very least, he was 17. At the very least. So it's not the same. Like, you can't make Tupac from the West Coast. You can't do it. You can't do it. Grew up, born and raised in Harlem. There are people who I know who went to school with Tupac. He's a year younger than me. Like, yeah, I remember Pac. I remember him. Blah, blah, blah. Before Suge bailed him out, which I still don't understand how you can get bailed out after you've been sentenced. He got bailed out on appeal. Where they do that? For sexual assault? But anyway, hold on. That's what I was looking for. Got you, motherfucker. Okay. Before Suge bailed him out, Tupac whole album was talking about being from the East Coast. The boy used to call himself MC New York. He called himself MC New York. MC New York, yo. He was talking about Italian ices and playing in the fire hydrant and all that kind of stuff. You can't do that on the West Coast. So I'm like, he got bailed out, and all of a sudden this in the West, we riot, not rally. What you mean we? We wear Chucks. We wear Chucks, not Bally. What you mean we? You wore Bally's. But anyway, born and raised, 13 years, Harlem, New York, 4 years, high school. That's how he met Jada Pinkett in Maryland, down Baltimore. That's 17 years of your life, dog. You graduated high school. You about to be 18 years old. Then you go to the West Coast to pursue your acting career. And it just so happens that you could rap too. So we might have to iron out our differences about how whether you are able to correctly represent the West Coast. But I guess for this conversation, we would have to let Tupac be from the West Coast, because that's the hill he literally chose to die on. But anyway, there's more. There's more. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Let's get this thing started. Let's get into it and get involved. These puzzle pieces right now, we gonna solve, y'all. And everything is all good. So I'm gonna go get my chair. I'm gonna, go over here and get my chair. And we're gonna have this conversation. So, that's what we gonna do. That's what I think needs to be done. Yeah. Hold on. Get my seat. Get my seat, man. Get everything straight over here. We get everything straight. What's up, y'all? What up? Yo, before we go any further, prayers up for our brother Troy. Prayers up for our brother Troy. He has a family situation that's going on. And, just make sure that he's in your thoughts and your prayers or whatever. I doubt that he'll be on tonight, but, he's handling a family situation. And I wish the best for him. And I'm sure y'all wish the best for him, too. That is our brother. So we want to make sure that we represent for him as we represent for the West tonight. but he's from the East, undisputedly, undoubtedly. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, hold on. So yeah, man, Corrupt went over on the West Coast when he was like 11. Okay. 11. Little younger than he was a little younger than Tupac. And I mean, he came out straight up and down, representing for Long Beach. So I don't know. I mean, he's from Sharon Hill, right outside of Philly. Some people want to make him from Philly. I'm like, no. Wait a minute. We a little border, how would I say it? You can't be from the burbs and be from Philly. We don't really play that. You know what I mean? You from Chester, you from Sharon Hill, you from Darby, you from, you just, if your place of residence doesn't have the zip code that starts with 191, I'm sorry. I just, there's nothing we can do. But you can do your thing. You just can't be from Philly. If it ain't 191, if the zip code ain't 191, there's nothing you can do to be from Philly. But you are from the Philadelphia area. You are from the Delaware Valley. You absolutely are. I will say this. It ain't no big deal being from Philly no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what you want? Higher taxes? Increased police activity? All kinds of ridiculous ratchetness now? Even the mayor's ratchet. First black female mayor we ever had. She ratchet as hell. Every time you see her on a video or something like that, you see her like dancing to hip hop music and all that kind of shit. Old school hip hop music. I'm like, okay, that's nice. She knows some old school hip hop music. She went to Lincoln University. I don't give a Yo, she need to get her shit together. You know what I'm saying? She need to get her shit together in many other ways. Anyway, so we paying homage to the West Coast. Thanks for looking out for Troy, y'all. Thanks for looking out for Troy. You know what I mean? Uptown Troy. Tom, Tori, Missy. Yo. Axel, what's good? What's good? Good looking out, Axel. Thanks for representing. I appreciate you, boy. It says provolone or whiz on the cheesesteak. I don't know where some rogue individual got cheese whiz on a cheesesteak from, but provolone. And look, you can even put that nasty ass American cheese on there. I mean, you put enough of it on there with some mayonnaise, the shit is going to be good. But cheese whiz. And I have seen videos, and I'm like, I don't know where that came from. I don't know what that's supposed to be about, but that's un-American. It's un-Philadelphian. We not doing that. Tom says, neither one smoked Gouda or Kobe cheese. I doubt it. I doubt if you be able to, unless you going to one of these gourmet cheesesteak places out here that really ain't the real cheesesteak places. You're going to have a choice of either American or provolone. You might get some Swiss. If they have a bunch of different cheeses, then they ain't really from Philly. They on some tourist shit. they on some they're tourists. They're making high priced cheesesteaks for tourists. Ain't nobody from around the way. If you go in the Poppy store around the way or whatever, and they have the little kiosk where you order your steak, they're not even gonna offer you Gouda cheese. Trust me. No way would that happen. No way will that happen. You will not find that anywhere. You will not find that anywhere. So yeah, that's some new shit. That's some new shit. That's some different shit. And I don't like that shit. You know what I mean? Making cheesesteaks like a little tourist attraction, whatever. Just an excuse to charge you $15 for a cheesesteak. Like, listen, there was a time not that long ago you could get a cheesesteak in a 40 ounce for like $5. I represent that time. Are we going in early? What we got? Caller with the last numbers 1227. Welcome.
Yes.
What's good?
Fam, this is Marisa. Hey, how you are?
Feeling like a real man should. What's up with you?
Fam, I'm doing the best. Listen. I'm not even listening to what you were talking about. But guess what? I got a boyfriend. Yup. Good job, me.
That's beautiful.
My dude, why you bullshitting? Like, okay, like, second quarter was not that great for me. But third quarter, man, I'm about to kill this shit. Not kill, but whatever. I'm about to kill this shit. Yes, I'm very much excited for me. I just wanted to share in my excitement.
So, okay. All right, how long y'all been together?
I mean, like 2 weeks and change shit. Like, don't rush me.
So, he excited you so much in 2 weeks that you ready to tell the whole world about it? You don't think you should let that cook for at least a month or two?
Oh, no, fam, not the whole not the world. Like, man, like social media and like actual, like my life and my family and like real shit. Like, nah, keep that shit secret. But I mean, like the internet, yeah, so far so good. But so far so good.
Okay. So that's all you wanted to say. You just wanted to declare that you got a boyfriend.
Well, now that you say it out loud, it ain't super. Damn. Nah, but I mean, okay, that kind of makes me sound like an idiot.
Listen,
you know what?
I mean, it is what it is.
Fam, okay.
I'm not gonna put an audit on your happiness, but this is music night. We talking about music tonight, and you called in just to say you had you just gonna call in, make it all about you, and like nothing else to it.
Nah, you're right. You're right. I should have just like held back and paid attention to the actual subject. Damn. Okay, you're right. You're right. I should have just paid attention to the actual subject. Damn.
I mean, listen, I can't tell you what kind of music to dance to, but this is music night. It's Friday night, and we're gonna talk about groups from the West Coast. That's what we're gonna do.
Oh shit! Wait, can we have music requests or no?
Have what? Can we have what?
Can we have music requests? Like,
no, we not requesting any. We can't play music on this show.
Damn.
We can't play no music. That's not going to work.
All right. Well, in that case, then give me like 3 to 4 weeks, if we're still in business, like me and the person, like we'll see how it goes. Then I'll go ahead and call back in.
All right. Well, I really, really, really hope that things work out for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
There's
should.
nothing like new love. Nothing like it.
But dude, I am the low key worst. Like I'm like a low key mean person, and I'm trying to do better in life, but it's not going so hot for me.
All right. All right. Well, look, I got to get back to my topic.
No, please do, please do. We.
All right. You have a good night. And thanks for calling in.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Cool. All right. Sorry. Excuse me. Allergies. Y'all know my allergies got to start kicking in. You know, they start doing what they want to do. But shout out and congratulations to, hey, yo, oh, yo, check out Missy. You know what I mean? Calling in to say that she got a new boo. Yay. Marvita Bigby, what's good? What's good? Toy said, what West Coast artist do your new boo like? Exactly. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a way that this could have been done. It's all good, though. You know what I mean? I'm going to let it ride. Axel said, I was 9 years old in Norway looking to Philly for style inspo or inspiration, I guess. Y'all had a blind third grader dressing up like Beanie and Freeway in them. Really? We wasn't even dressing like them. So that's a big deal. And listen, I don't know anybody that wanted to look like them. You know, they're not handsome guys. They're not. They're not handsome guys. It's okay though. You know what I'm saying? They musically they did their thing, but they ain't nobody to dress like or look like. And it makes me mad that people think that beard and all of that's everybody in Philly. I'm like, no, the fuck it ain't. That's them. That's them. But it's all good though. Shout out to Freeway and shout out to Beanie. All right, let's get into this topic, y'all. All right, we paying homage to the West Coast. Who are our West Coast groups? Who are our West Coast artists? I'm going to throw this artist out there. And y'all need to let me know, can she properly represent the West Coast? Because she wasn't born there. She was actually born down in the dirty South, but she moved to the West Coast. And that's where she definitely got her fame, her chops, her notoriety, and where she represents. Brandy. Now, I don't know how everybody in the world feels about Brandy Norwood, but I love me some Brandy. I like Brandy when she was on Thea. Now, I mean, little girl had style. She had something going on. And if you remember, when she was on Thea, that was before she got her braids. You know, she had them braids in her hair her whole entire career after that. You know, when she came out with I Want to Be Down, when she recorded I Want to Be Down, and then, you know, she took off after that. But I like me some Brandy. Do your thing, Brandy. But can we properly say, or can we say that Brandy properly represents the West Coast? I'm going to go with yes, but I'm going to make sure that you know, that we get her qualified, because I can't just say, oh yeah, Brandy definitely represents the West Coast. You know, hold on, y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button, because I see the poll question has 18 votes in it, but we only got 6 likes. And that view count, I mean, that's why I don't trust the view count. When you, at the end of the show, you see all of these views and you don't see that I'm like, something is going on. Something is going on. Bossalina Rock says, I love Brandy. That's what I mean, you know, a lot of people don't like Brandy, but of course a lot do. A lot do. I do. I know I do. Um, Tom says that was definitely a silly thing because I was definitely trying to look like LL Cool J. Oh man, Tori, you like Brandy too? That's what I'm talking about. Like I was feeling him. Axel says Mac Dre. Okay, yeah, Mac Dre, West Coast. You know what I mean? Rest in peace, Mac Dre. Rest in. Now hip hop wise, we could talk about West Coast groups or West Coast artists for days. They had a lot. They had a big impact in the 90s. The Dr. Dre's, the Snoops, the Easy E's, the NWAs, the Compton's Most Wanted, the DJ Quicks. There were a lot. King T, Ice-T. And it's a funny thing because Ice-T is a wild card too because I definitely consider Ice-T to represent the West Coast. But Ice-T moved to the West Coast. He's actually from Jersey. He moved to West Coast when he was like 9, somewhere between 9 and 11. He wasn't 12. Let me see when Ice-T moved to the West Coast. When did Ice-T move to California?
Ice-T moved to California around 1970 or 1971, relocating to Los Angeles from New Jersey. He went to live with his aunt after his father passed away when he was a preteen in either the 6th or 7th grade.
Okay. 6th or 7th grade. Now they saying roughly age 12 or 13. Ice-T ain't no dummy. He wasn't no 13 in those 7th or no 6th or 7th grade. I remember him saying that he was like 11 years old when he moved out there. He was born in 1958. So if he moved there when he was, in 1970, and Ice-T, I think his birthday is in February sometime. Then he was about 12 years old. Okay. All right. Ice-T, a.k.a. Tracy Morrow. Exactly. What up, Super J Weezy? What's good? What we got, y'all? What we got? So y'all accepting Brandy? So I guess if you accept Brandy, then you got to accept Ray J too. You might not care about Ray J, but you have to let Ray... There ain't no Ray J without Brandy. Brandy brought a little brother on like, yo, we gonna let him rock too. I'm gonna put him on my show. I'm gonna let him sing. He's even gonna have a hit or two. And he did. He had one wish, one hit. Nah, he had more than one hit. Well, he had more than one good song. He may have only had one hit. But he rocked it out. He milked it to death, didn't he? Mr. Robinson said, I had no idea she was from the West Coast, but I heard Ray J was a blood growing up, so it makes sense. I'm like, when did he have time to be a blood? Like, I don't think people understand how involved their parents were in making sure that their kids became stars. Because people used to talk about it all the time, how involved, Miss Norwood was in Brandy's career. Like, she was going to make it. She managed her career and she knew a lot of, she took like business classes, entertainment business classes, law classes and shit like that to make sure that her daughter didn't get sucked up and, chewed up and spit out by the industry. And she didn't. You'll never hear about Brandy being broke or not having her shit together or nothing like that. And you won't, probably. You have to, okay, Axel says, I have to say Metallica. Okay. Metallica, no one repped the scruffy skateboard and dirt bike riding Cali white guys like them. And that's a big demographic out there. Yeah, Metallica, and they ain't the only one. Red Hot Chili Peppers, they're from the West Coast. Yeah, the Go-Go's, they was from the West Coast. And you can kind of hear it in their sound. If you want to take it all the way back 60 years ago or so, or damn near 70 years ago, the Beach Boys, you know, they whole sound, they brought the whole West Coast. You might be able to say, now y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, I wasn't even alive at the time, but you might be able to say that they brought the West Coast rock sound. You know, that whole Beach Boy sound, you know, that whole Sound of Sunshine thing. You know, definitely West Coast all day. You know, they had you thinking that everything that came out of California dealt with the beach. You know, it don't. You know how big of a state California is? And that's another thing. We might have to address this too. When we talk about the West Coast, how come it seems like we're only talking about California? You know, they have other states out there. You know, even all the way on the West Coast, you got California, which takes up a big chunk of it. But then you have Portland. I'm going to take one city out of a state. You got Oregon. You got Washington. Sir Mix-a-Lot. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't like no Sir Mix-a-Lot. I think he's ass. I always thought he was. I thought he was garbage. But he absolutely did his thing, and he's from the West Coast. Ain't no denying it. Seattle, Washington is absolutely the West Coast. Anything in those states. You said the Jacksons. Hold on now. The Jacksons ain't from the West Coast. They're from Indiana. Going back to Indiana. We ain't representing them yet. You know, they from the Midwest. They gotta wait. But you know what happened? Motown Records was from, of course, Motown from Detroit. But they moved to LA. They moved their offices and their studios to LA. And that's the dumbest thing they ever did. That was stupid. That was not smart. That's like being in a place where you don't have to pay any taxes or answer to anybody, and then you go to a place where where people are questioning you and checking your books all the time and charging you like crazy. That's exactly what happened. Okay, let's keep it moving. All right, make sure I can see everybody. Mike Mack, Chicago. Are you from the West Coast? All right, that's cool. All right, well, where on the West Coast are you from, though? Tom says, and then you had E40, and then you had the whole movement up there in the Bay. That's the hyphy. You had the hyphy movement. And those Bay Area rappers, they remind me, they rap like they from the East Coast. They rap fast. They got like, remember Souls of Mischief? Yo, that was my group. I was like, yo, they don't rap like the rest of these up in the Bay Area. They don't rap like LA rappers. It ain't that slow shit and all of that. Too Short was a little bit, but not the rest of them other rappers. They had lyrics. They had bars. Tom says Ice-T is 68 years old and not a brother, and not brother is an Aquarius like me. I knew I liked that for a reason. I hear that. Super J Weezy said Brandy and JJ was a package deal. Pretty much. Pretty much, like we gonna make sure they get put on. Boss Selena Rock says, yeah, Miss Sonia didn't play about her kids. She didn't. She made sure, like, yo, they not getting jerked. She not getting pregnant early and getting put out the game. Y'all, and Brandy got her freak on. She an Aquarius too. You ain't gonna be, when they decide that they gonna be a freak, you not gonna get in the way of that. But yeah, I mean, she made sure, you wasn't gonna plant no seed in it or too early. Not too early. All right. Let me see. Hold on. Tom says, son, he had the gay agency. The gay agency, more power to him. He's staying in that lane and have his one wish over there. Please stop fucking with me. You know what? I can't with you, son. But we good though. Axel says Ray J was in 2 different episodes of Moesha and played a different character in both episodes. Tom says, don't forget about Macklemore. He actually won a Grammy. Okay. All right. So what else y'all got? Selena, what up, Selena? You make a great Sesame Street host. Not this Sesame Street. Like like I grew up on Sesame Street, the good Sesame Street. This Sesame Street, I'm like, this Sesame Street is more like the rainbow Sesame Street. I mean, I grew up with the hood Sesame Street. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Gordon. Shout out to David. Shout out to Maria. Shout out to Mr. Hooper. Luis. You know what I mean? All right. Tom says, son, I really was rocking with DJ Quick. Okay, cool. And Axel says, Jimi Hendrix was born in Seattle, and the same with Kurt Cobain and Nirvana. Facts. Now we starting to cook with a little grease. Now y'all see what we talk about. So you can clearly see like Nirvana pretty much bringing forth that whole grunge thing. Now I ain't gonna say that they invented it, but they definitely had a big impact or played a big part in popularizing it. That style of rock music, that grunge, you know what I mean, that heavy guitar, whatever, that sound. And that was a big thing. It was a big thing, and people still rock with it. So they had a big impact. A big impact. Anytime you can come into a genre that's already established and reestablish your place in it, bring other artists from your region or have people duplicating and emulating and pretty much copying what you're doing because it's that good and it's that popular. Yeah, it's undeniable. Your impact is undeniable. So yeah, shout out to Nirvana, and the whole grunge movement coming out of Washington. So it's important that we note that because it's not all California. It's not all California. A lot of it is, but it's not all California. But I will give it to the West Coast because they never tried to do what New York did. Whenever you talked about the East Coast, New York used to be like, no, you talking about New York. They wasn't ever talking about Philly. They wasn't ever talking about Boston. They wasn't never talking about Baltimore. They wasn't never talking about Jersey. They're like, nope, New York. It's all New York. And New York equals the East Coast. I mean, you can't deny it. That's how they kicked it. But it's all good. I missed good New York hip hop. I thought it was the best. I still think it's the best. The real New York hip hop, not, these cats these days have lost themselves. All right. Señorita Ramirez, la señorita Ramirez, la señorita Ramirez, la señorita Ramirez. Hola, señorita. ¿Cómo estás, la señorita Ramirez? ¿Cómo estás, la señorita Ramirez? Tonight, we are starting our series called Paying Homage. The Homage series. And tonight we're talking about the West Coast. So we're talking about West Coast artists who made an impact in music. Who can you name from the West Coast that kicked in the door, waving the 4-4, said that the game ain't gonna be the same no more? So that's the topic tonight. Tom says, son, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. This I wasn't into LA rappers, New York, Philly, especially that group 3 Times Dope, Funky Dividends. The song changed how I thought about women. Cool. I mean, I wasn't into West Coast groups either. I just couldn't deny that they was doing their thing. Whether we liked them or not, the world was saying, like, I didn't like MC Hammer, but guess what? I didn't have to. Because he had more fans and he was selling more records than anybody could shake a stick at. Hammer was West Coast all day. He repped it hard, and he sold more and did more for the West Coast than a lot of the rappers from wherever they were able to do from where they were. And you know, people didn't respect Hammer as a rapper, and definitely not as a lyricist and all of that. Did it matter? Did it matter? People loved him. And for what it's worth, Hammer put on a show better than anybody. They might not have had the songs that you liked, but if you went to a Hammer show, you were going to be entertained. Even if you was hating, you was entertained. Like, but yeah, I wasn't a Hammer fan. Not at all. Okay. Carla, good looking out on the explanation. All right. Let me see. Tom says, New York and Philly had everything I needed to know about rap music, fashion, and everything. Shout out to Detroit because my father is from the west side of Detroit. My mama made me bougie. Okay. So with all due respect, my city, the only thing coming out of here was the Red Sox, the Bruins, the Celtics. After that, you hated Boston. You really hated Boston. Nah, man, Ed O.G. and the Bulldogs. I like Ed O.G. and the Bulldogs. And trust me, when we start talking about the East Coast, I know some other Guru from Gangstar from Boston. He always represented that. He is originally from Boston. He moved to Brooklyn in order to get his rap career off, and it worked. But he's from Boston. And you know, Guru was my dude. Gangstar was my group. And neither one of them, DJ Premier is not from New York. I think he's from Texas. Somewhere like that. He's not from New York. Neither one of them from Brooklyn. But they was representing Brooklyn. But that's another time. That's another time, no pun intended, for another day. Another conversation. Tom says MC Hammer, and I believe MC Hammer is from the Bay too legit to quit. Everybody and their grandma and a little kids were doing the MC Hammer. I'm just saying. I don't know, Maria. Tupac is not from the West Coast. For this conversation, we're going to let y'all have him, but that ain't where he's from. You know what I mean? We was talking about that earlier in the show. Little bit of controversy there. You know, like, what does it take to be from the West Coast? Because if you weren't born there or raised there, Like, you know what? If Tupac would have lived to keep representing the West Coast, we probably would have had to give it to him later on. But he died at 25 years old. So because he didn't make it there until he was 17 years old, and he moved back to New York, that's where he got locked up for sexual assault. I don't know. But Maria says G-Funk West Coast. Can't deny that. You know, Warren G. I'm sorry. Yeah, Warren G and Nate Dogg, you know, coming through with the whole G-Funk era. I didn't like it. I thought it was, you know what? I'll say this. I don't think it was that bad. I just didn't think it was that good. Coolio. Exactly, Tori. Coolio. I didn't think Coolio was that good either. Didn't matter. Had a bona fide hit to this day. You know, Gangsta's Paradise, baby. He probably had some other songs that people like too, but that was his biggest hit. And you know, his legacy is stamped. It's solidified. Ice-T, definitely. We were talking about him earlier. I said, son, they forget about Guru Black Star. He is actually from Boston. Yeah, see, I'm trying to tell you. I ain't forget about Boston. I have more. I got more. Shit, Boston got a hip-hop scene. I'm sorry. Boston got a hip-hop scene, but we going, you know, not right now. You know, it's not their time. You know what I mean? Rest in peace, Guru. But when we do our when we do our East Coast series, trust me, him and a bunch of other people from Boston, they gonna get their chance. They'll get their mentions. Good one, Axel Sly and the Family Stone is founded in the Bay. Same with Tony. Yeah, I mentioned Tony in the beginning of the show. I mean, come on now, Sly and the Family Stone. They brought a lot to the soul game, sort of the soul game and the pop game, and they kind of brought that psychedelic soul type of sound to music in the 60s. That psychedelic soul sound. And that was some good sound. Now, if you don't know what psychedelic soul is, think about the music from Papa Was a Rolling Stone. Papa was a Rolling Stone. Wherever he laid his hat was. But think about the music that boom, that bass sound, boom, boom, boom. That was that psychedelic soul sound, like them sounds in the background, you know, kind of mess with your head a little bit. Them sounds that you would definitely cater to if you smoke some weed or pop some pills, whatever. And I don't want to promote none of that, but yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Excuse me. All right. Okay. Coolio, my grandmother said, who let Coolio out? Whose mama let that boy on TV with his hair looking like that? No doubt. He did. That was an interesting haircut, if that's what you want to call it. But he was doing his thing. He said, rest in peace, grandmother. Yes, rest in peace, grandmother. For sure. Michelle A. Absolutely. Absolutely. Who can deny Michelle A? Like, wasn't we all geeked and like confused when we heard Michelle A talk versus how, remember how, I don't know about y'all, but I was like, this can't be real. You're not going to tell me that woman talks like that with that little squeaky mouse voice, like some kind of little girl. But when she sings, it's like somebody tore the roof off a building. But that's exactly how it was. See, West Coast had a way of doing. They had little sneaky, little caveats, and you know what I mean. Like they had a way of making an impact that you just didn't expect. That's what I would say. The West Coast had this element of surprise. That's probably the best way I can put it. The West Coast had this element of surprise when it came to their artistry that had you like, well, what the hell was that? It's pretty groovy. I'm feeling it, but yeah, they did that. Maria says Tupac was born in New York. That's what I'm. He wasn't just born in New York. He was raised in New York too. He didn't move down to Maryland until he was 13. Stayed there till he was 17. Then he went to LA. I'm sorry. Went to California. All right, what we got? Let me see. Tupac was born in New York but made music in LA. Not necessarily. He worked with a lot of East Coast. His first album was probably more LA. Second album, definitely East. Listen, he ain't from the West Coast. I'm sorry. He just Tupac had the benefit of not having to deal with the internet. Had he had to deal with the internet and social media, they'd have been all over him. Like, yo, why you out here acting like a fraud? You ain't from there. You know, he came along at the right time. Clay, my boy, my man's in them. Clay Biggins, what's good? What's good? Okay, Clay says, for some reason, Tone Loc annoyed me every time I heard him, especially when drunk white folks would rap his lyrics like they was down. I'm going to have to agree with you. It was to the point where I wasn't sure if I was supposed to take Tone Loc seriously as a rapper. I was like, wait a minute. So I really thought he was playing around with rap music. Because, like Wild Thing and Funky Cold Medina, I was like, it kind of reminded me of what was the boy from Philly that came out with Double Dutch Bus? It's a double Dutch bus coming down the street, moving kind of fast, so you gotta shuffle your feet, but get on the bus and pay your fare, because it's, like you're not really rapping, but you rapping. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I kind of thought about Tone Loc. I didn't really realize that, I didn't buy Tone Loc album. And that should tell you a lot, because anybody who had an album in hip hop back in the day, especially if you had a cassette tape, I would buy that. I wasn't buying no Tone Loc. Wow, thing. I was like, it didn't even sound like a rap record. It sounded like a club record with some rap music on it. But maybe that was just me. I didn't know he was supposed to be a real rapper. But okay. All right. Maria says most of it was Death Row. He didn't. He didn't. Most of his music came out after he was dead. if you count while he was alive, he only had 2 albums on the West Coast, and they came out almost. He had All Eyes on Me and Machiavelli. Those are the only 2 albums he came out with while he was alive. And I'm not even sure if he was when Machiavelli dropped, he wasn't alive. It came out right after he died. He did have the single though, the I Ain't Mad at You. So Tupac is complicated, man. But look, tell you what. If Tupac gotta be from the West Coast for this conversation, I'm gonna let you have him. You just gotta put an asterisk by his name, because history won't allow me to give Tupac to the West Coast. I know too much. Like, I don't see, if you didn't go to school in an area, I don't know how you can say you was raised there. I don't know how you can say you from there. You got to at least have gone to school there and not college. You know what I mean? You got to have an elementary school, a middle school, junior high, high school, something. You know what I mean? That's why you got to let Ice-T be from the West Coast. You got to let Corrupt be from the West Coast. You just got to do it. Make sure y'all hit the like button, y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button, please. Yeah, Frankie Smith. Yeah, from Philly. Like, he wasn't a rapper. He was like kind of playing around. He was making, that's not even a rap record. It was like an R&B record that had some rap in it. You could say he was the first artist to mix hip hop and R&B. You could say that. Oh my God, man. Once these allergies start kicking in, I'm not going to do this tonight though. You know what? I'm going to fix this right now. I am going to go over here by this sink and I'm going to wash my nose out. I'm going to clear my sinuses. I hope I don't choke. Hold on. Okay. All righty. Almost drowned myself. Got brain freeze and everything. All right. Sorry, y'all. But I'm over here suffering, yo. Be over here suffering. Okay. Let me see. Tone Loc would have made a good actor because his episode on Rock, I thought Tone Loc would have been a better actor than a rapper. Yeah, you could definitely make a case for that. All right. You said DJ Quick, you don't think he get enough credit? He made enough money. He owned his records and his publishing. Okay, Cypress Hill. Absolutely. Cypress Hill. They was definitely West Coast, definitely doing their thing. I thought they was a little overrated, but hey, when he came out with that, I'll say this: they definitely brought the marijuana awareness thing to hip hop. Boy, did they! They represented that. They was like, "Look, we gonna smoke some weed. If we don't do nothing, we might not make no good records, but we gonna smoke some weed. That's what we gonna do." Yo, thank you, Tori. That's a good one. Definitely one of my favorites. I love me some Yo-Yo. Yolanda. Straight out of South Central LA. Straight out of South Central. Okay. All right. All right. Why do I want to say that Shalimar was from the West Coast? And I don't think I'm pretty sure that that's not right. That's not right. And rock music, there was some really good groups that came out of California, or should I say the West Coast, but definitely California. Creedence Clearwater Revival. I love Creedence Clear. That lead singer, I don't know his name. But yo, I love the way he sing. That like gruffy growl, you know what I mean? You ever listen to that song, Native Son? Look at me. Look at me. I ain't no rich man's son. Yo, Creedence, yeah. You know what I mean? Creedence Clearwater Revival. Yeah, they was dope. They was dope. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Creedence is my shit. What we got? Oh yeah, Snoop, definitely. No, Snoop is from Long Beach, not LA. He from Long Beach. Oh, Shalimar is from LA? Okay, because I wasn't sure. I think I heard that somewhere before, but I wasn't sure. Okay. All right. I thought I was wrong. Now you talking time. Razzcast, Sugar Free from Inglewood. There you go. My man Razzcast. The most popular rapper who only made one album I ever seen. It was like we was always waiting on that second Razzcast album. I think it did drop, but by the time it dropped, we wasn't checking for him no more. You know how that go. Guns N' Roses. Absolutely. Guns N' Roses. The mamas and the papas. All the leaves are brown and the sky is gray. And the sky is gray. I'm just saying, man. I went for a walk on a winter's day. On a winter's day. I love California Dreaming, boy. That's my song. That is my shit. Yeah, Red Hot Chili Peppers. I mentioned them. The Eagles. Yes. The Eagles. You know what I mean? Hotel California, baby. When Hotel California comes on, come on now, you feel that shit. When they strumming that it's the electric guitar, but they strumming it like they playing it like it's acoustic. What? Tori, you say In Vogue? You know they didn't know each other. So they kind of, they put that group together. I don't know if you could say they I don't know if you can say that they from the West Coast. But tell you what, we'll put a star by their name, and we'll come back to that. Motley Crue and Van Halen is from California. Van Halen. Mm. Eh. I mean, Eddie and his brother, they not even really from the United States. You know? So I don't know. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. But definitely Guns N' Roses, definitely Red Hot Chili Peppers, definitely the Eagles, Motley Crue. They from LA? Let me check that. I know that shit. Hold on. What state was the group Motley Crue from?
Motley Crue came from California, forming in Los Angeles in 1981.
You got it, brother. You got it. Motley Crue. Okay. I like Motley Crue. I do. Man, y'all gonna stop saying Tony, Tony, Tony. We got that. Troop. Troop? I thought Troop was from North Carolina. I could have sworn. What state was the group Troop from?
The R&B group Troop comes from Pasadena.
Got me again. Wow. Now I have to consider you probably already looked this up, right? Why did I think they were from North Carolina? Pasadena, they from LA. I'll be damned. Damn, okay. All right, now, all right. This is going good. The Platters, I'm not checking no more of your stats because you done already took me under twice, so I'm gonna stick with that. I got you. Okay. Let me see. Where was the group Black Flag out of California? I don't know. Rage Against the Machine. Good one. Good one. All right. The Fifth Dimension. No, DeBarge. Now, DeBarge is not from California. They are not from California. They're definitely from the Midwest. Absolutely from the Midwest. The Pointer Sisters. Good one. Okay. The Whispers. The Whispers was from LA? Damn. Okay, both of my brothers went to school in California. They came back and one of them had a snow bunny till today, and she was listening to those groups. Okay. Keisha Cole, good one. Very good. Very good. From the Bay Area. Damn, I would have almost forgot about Keisha Cole. Let me not, please, don't let me forget about Keisha Cole. Steve Perry comes here to our town from Journey. Oh, Sherry, I'm all alone. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah. Love me some Steve Perry and Journey. Love Journey. That's good. All right. I like what we doing here. All right. What else y'all got? So you can see like with the variety of groups from the West Coast, you get a lot of different looks. You said he lived here in Hanford, California, Lemoore, California. Okay, cool. Cool. The Grateful Dead. Now, I don't know. Maybe there is some Grateful Dead music out there that's really good, but I don't know. That shit is not easy to listen to. I figure you had to be high to listen to and enjoy that crap. But you see the cult following that they had, the tour groupies that they had, that was like nothing like you ever seen before. Still to this day. And I don't think they have any original members still left in the Grateful Dead. You know? They named a bench here in the town park. He is so nice. All right. Yeah, I remember Toto. Of course. Of course I remember Toto. Shoot. You know, Toto. Eyes of the rain down in Africa. You know, Toto, you know what I mean? The 80s pop. Where would 80s pop be without Toto? Yeah, Africa. I trust the rain down in Africa. Yeah, I definitely remember Toto. And I see Tori does too. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. All right. What we got, y'all? They was from the West Coast? You said Maria said from the Wizard of Oz. You know what? No, the other Toto. They came later. Oh man, yeah. I mean, you ain't wrong. You're not wrong. You said from the Wizard of Oz, though. Oh man, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Toto was definitely in the Wizard of Oz. That was the original Toto. That was the original Toto. Let me see. Hold on. Oh man. Oh shit. Santana. Carlos Santana was from the West Coast. He sure was. He sure was. Who else we got? What we got? Yeah. Santana. There's some other artists. Hold on. Let me see. Her. Oh, she from the West Coast. Is she? Okay. Her. I mean, you know, we could do hip hop artists all day, but when you start getting into other genres of music, you gotta kind of have some knowledge. You know what I mean? Of how they came into prominence, into fruition, how they was getting down, how they was putting it on. Tom says, son, no matter how you slice it, if we had great music back when we were growing up, it was 3 to 4 minutes of singers singing something that meant something. More than, yeah, I mean, you could say that. Adam Levine. Oh, shit. Yeah, her. It's H period E period R period. Very, very good singer. Very, very good R&B artist. Very, very good R&B artist. You know. But I mean, NWA. You can't deny the impact that NWA had on hip hop. They changed the game. They did. And they were the real deal. They were very good performers. You know, I mean, they were a well put together group. And before Dr. Dre was with NWA, you have to remember he was with the before we turn him and Michelle A. Before I turn off the lights, let's get one thing understood. You know, what was their name? Yeah. What was their name? Oh shit. World Class Wrecking Crew. World Class Wrecking Crew. That was another song that I didn't realize was supposed to be a rap record. They had rapping on it. I was like, that's not a rap record. It's an R&B record. Like that rapping wasn't real rapping, but hey, it was a hit. Do you know that the rapper Big Sean, do you know that little Chinese girl he messed with that made music? She's from LA. Big Sean is actually from LA too. He's from LA, moved to Detroit. He's actually from LA. And you're talking about Janae Aiko. That's my John, boy. That is a dope chick. Her music is off the chain. That's my chick. Janae Aiko. She is dope as hell. She is dope as hell. I got all her shit. That's my chick right there. Her music deep as shit. See, Arita Ramirez said her name is Ling Ling. Oh, you know what? Her name is Silver Trout. You know what? You gotta chill. Yeah, you gotta chill. Oh, yeah. Climax. Yeah. Meeting in the ladies' room, baby. The meeting in the ladies' room. Climax was dope. You know what I mean? They was dope. A dope ass black female band. They was dope. Yeah. I miss you. There's no other way to say it. And I can't deny it. This is my shit. They got one of the best I Miss You songs I ever heard. This is one of my favorites. Michelle A had that classic song. That song is going to be great in the year 4000. You could say Anderson .Paak. Now, I don't know him. Anderson .Paak. Is that how you pronounce it? P-A-A-K, Anderson .Paak? Tom said, excuse me, Ice Cube, I believe, really changed the game. I don't know if he changed the game. He continued the game. I don't know if he changed it. But he definitely had a big impact. Shit, he even had a big impact with that West Coast group he had. What was they called? West Side Connection. I didn't like their sound. I really didn't. I ain't like none of that shit. But hey, that shit was selling. And they was doing their thing. You know, even Mac 10. West Coast was killing the 90s. They really was. They was killing it. Let me see. That ain't she bad? Ain't her music solid? Talk to me, boy. We don't even have to fight. We can share. Sharing is caring. Yeah, you crazy as shit. Maria said, I'm rolling, making myself laugh. Yo, you tripping. Oh, man. Her name is Ling Ling. I'm telling Janae Aiko, that's my yo. Music is off the charts. Deep shit, deep shit. Good music too. All right. Let's see. Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars from. I didn't know that. I did not know that he represented the West Coast. I didn't know that. Bruno Mars. Can't deny that. I mean, he did 2 Super Bowl halftime shows. I was like, who co-signing this boy? He got 2 Super Bowl halftime shows? Oh, he's from Hawaii? I don't know if we can say that that's the West Coast. That ain't from no coast. But I guess it's definitely west from here, ain't it? Yo, if Hawaii records, I mean, if artists from Hawaii start coming out, we gotta say they from the West Coast. We can't say they from the South Pacific. I mean, they far out there. You forgot your bling bling. What bling bling? Hold on, what we talking about? About to go wash my nose out again. I was doing good for a second. You know what I mean? I was doing good for a minute. Hawaii, though, I didn't know he's from Hawaii. But, you know, somehow that kind of makes sense. I mean, that's not even on the mainland of the United States. They from Japan. All right. I mean, there's a such thing as Hawaiian people. But okay. Okay. I ain't gonna be hitting. Hating. He says, your kitty around you, son. Nah, she always listen, she's all in the house. She all in the air. If I had a black light, I would probably be able to see her fur in the air. She killing me over here. She killing me over here. Miguel. The singer Miguel. Yeah. I didn't know he's from the West Coast either. I have to admit, I wasn't really feeling the boy. But hey, I wasn't really feeling him. But I don't have to. He's doing his thing. Miguel. I haven't heard from him in a minute. Haven't heard anything by him in a minute. Who else? Who else is from the West Coast? Excuse me. Who else is from the West Coast? Come on, y'all. Come on, pump them out. We doing good. I have to mention this guy because my little nieces would be upset with me. Omarion. I didn't know he was from the West Coast either. Omarion. So Marquez Houston too? And Immature? Was Immature from was they from the West Coast? I can't say it like I know. Lady of Rage, absolutely. Kendrick Lamar. There you go. Okay, Tyrese. Low hanging fruit. Of course, Tyrese. Of course, Tyrese. See, tears coming out. Them allergies on tilt. I be cool till I sit right here. It's like she sat here. You know what I mean? I be cool until I sit here. All around the crib, I'm good. Right, Eazy-E, of course. Rest in peace, Eazy-E and NWA. Compton's Most Wanted. My man King T. Remember that group, the Alcoholics? Definitely from LA. I used to like the Licks too. They was pretty dope. Alcoholics. You know what I mean? Because, and what I liked about them is that even though they came out with that gimmick, the whole Alcoholics thing, but as they kept going on, they actually prove themselves to be real serious rappers. Don't nobody say Chris Brown, because Chris Brown is not from California. He's absolutely not. He Virginia all day. VA all day is C Breezy. Maria, you love Chris Brown? Jackson Brown. She's gonna be somebody's own delight. Wanna shine tonight. Hey, she's gonna be somebody's baby. Oh, that was my shit. I try to shut my eyes, but I can't get her out of my sight. Brian Wilson and Jackson Brown are folk singers. My music education is broad. Listen, Jackson Brown was dope. You know what I mean? Jackson Brown was dope, but that was my song by Jackson Brown. It wasn't the only song. He also had a song called We Are Stepping Out into the night. Into the night. It was a pretty good hit. It was a hit song. You know what I mean? Now, that Jackson Brown song was in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. They kept playing that song. That's why I was like, yo, that song was always stuck in my mind. It was my shit. That was my shit. That's right, stepping out. We are stepping out into the night. Into the John Fogerty. That's what, see, now y'all, okay. This is what I'm talking about. John Fogerty. Wow. All right. We got it. Okay. Now we getting somewhere. We getting into the... Now we getting somewhere. You know what I mean? So, and this is the reason why people be thinking that California is the only West Coast, because so many people came out of California. Tom says, so my older brothers are starting to kick in. I'm starting to listen to the music they were listening to now. Why wouldn't you? I mean, if it's good music, it's good music. I don't care where it comes from. I don't care what genre it is. If it's good music, it's good music. If it's good music, it's good music. Why be in denial? Give it a free trial. All right. Y'all remember Moon Zappa? She was the daughter of Frank Zappa. You know, Frank Zappa, definitely from West Coast. But Moon Zappa, she came out with that song Valley Girl. Valley Girl. She's a Valley Girl. She didn't sing on the record. All she did was talk that San Fernando Valley talk. Like, oh my God, Valley Girl. Like, totally Valley Girl. Remember that shit? You know what I mean? Moon Zappa, I don't think she had another song. But that song, that one song, Tori said, but she's from NYC. Who's from NYC? Who's from NYC? Not Moon Zappa. Nah, Moon Zappa, because she was representing San Fernando Valley. That's what the Valley Girl thing was. Hold on now. Then you just hold on there a minute there, Tori, because y'all been kicking my ass all night. Where was Moon Zappa from?
Moon Zappa was born in New York City, but she grew up in the Laurel Canyon area of Los Angeles.
Gosh, Born in New York, grew up in LA. All right. Now, when did she move? Let's see. Born September 28th, 1967. So she's still alive, thank God. 58 years old. Early life. Born in New York City, child of Gail, Nate Sloatman, and musician Frank Zappa. She has 3 younger siblings. Her mother was of German and Portuguese descent. Zappa attended Oakwood School in North California. Well, when did she move to California? Let's see. When did Moon Zappa move to California?
Moon Zappa moved to California in May 1968. As an infant, her parents, Frank and Gail Zappa, brought her to Los Angeles' Laurel Canyon after she was born in New York City in September 1967.
So she was 1 year old when she moved to California. So yeah. Whew. Lordy. I'm like, come on, man. Help me. Now, if you was just born somewhere, but you was raised somewhere else, you know what I mean? Come on now. You know what I'm saying? My problem with Tupac was that he was 13. He spent 13 years of his life in New York. Madonna is from Michigan. Madonna is from Michigan. I ain't even got to look that up. All right. Tom says, son, if someone said if they were born in Chicago but raised in Atlanta, where are they from? It depends on when you moved there and how old you are. Like, okay, I go by percentages. For example, my oldest sister, she was born in North Carolina. She was only there for like 2 or 3 years before my parents moved to Philly. So by the time she was 7 years old, she had more years in Philly than North Carolina. So yeah, you were born where you were born. Nobody can change that. But you were raised where you were raised, and where you were raised is, I consider that to be where you're from. Tori says, we'll claim California. Like she was 1 year old. She was 1 year old. I'm just saying. Yeah, I mean, what we gonna do? So that's what they say about Jody Watley. She was born in Chicago, primarily raised in LA, and I believe that's how she met the group Shalimar. Yeah, I mean, you got to see what. I mean, if you're born somewhere, I don't care if you like 10 years old, you're born somewhere, you live there for 10 years, and then for the rest of your life you live somewhere else. Like you 50 years old, so you were the first 10 years of your life you were in one place. To me, that's still where you're from, but of course you're going to claim the place where you really became an adult. But like, all right, let's do this. You're born and raised in Philly. At age 25, you move to, I don't know, Texas. You move to Texas, and now you're 75. So you spent 50 years in Texas. Are you from Texas? You got there when you was 25. You from there? Because you got 50 years in Texas? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know? What's wrong with being from where you from? But where you went to school at has to matter. Because that's your foundation. That's where all your friends were from. That's where you were educated. You can't just shake that off. You know? All right. Maria says, but she moved to New York. Who moved to New York? You talking about Jody Watley? I don't know. So she was just born in North Carolina, but she is a Philadelphia woman. Absolutely. She don't know nothing about no North Carolina. I mean, she's a baby. So now you can put Jody Watley on the list because Jody Watley had a single and she was a solo artist out of California. I mean, yeah, they danced on Soul Train when the show moved to Cali. All right. The Doors and the Monkees. Yeah. The Doors and the Monkees. Yeah, the Monkees. Hey, we're the Monkees. You know, when they had that TV show, it was hard for me to take them seriously as a music group. But I don't know why. The Partridge Family, they were really a music group too. And so were Josie and the Pussycats. Where were they from? Don't answer that. Answer that. All right. Tom says, no, you are not from Texas. You just live in Texas. That's what I'm saying. Joyful journey. What's good? What's good? We're talking about the West Coast. But I knew we were going to have a little problem about being a West. See, none of this would matter if, like, let's say if Moon Zappa was born in Seattle and then she moved to California, it wouldn't matter because we talking about the West Coast. The problem is you went from coast to coast. We talking about 3,000, 4,000 miles. That's where the problem comes in. Carla said, the Doors and the Monkees. The Monkees. Yeah. Well, I'm definitely not going to take away their shine. You know what I'm saying? The Monkees. Outside of the TV show, though, I didn't really know a lot of their music. I didn't know a lot of their music. But in the rock era in the 60s, there were a lot of bands from the West Coast that was, they was doing shit. They was killing shit. Hold on. Let me see. What else y'all got? Y'all got the Beach Boys. All right, so what we have here? Let me see. Rock bands from LA. Oh, shut up.
Los Angeles has produced many well-known rock bands, such as The Doors, Guns N' Roses, and Red Hot Chili Peppers, shaping rock music for decades.
It looks like you were right about that whole Van Halen thing. Formed nearby in Pasadena, known for blazing guitar solos and stadium anthems. Okay. All right. Some of these groups I don't know. Tool, Jane's Addiction, Black Flag. But just because I don't know them don't mean that they didn't have an impact. The Byrds. I do know them. I should have said the West Coast, but I said LA. But that's definitely the West Coast. All right. Soul and R&B groups from the West Coast.
West Coast soul and R&B groups include Sly and the Family Stone from San Francisco, En Vogue from Oakland, and Tony Tone from the Bay Area. These groups helped create the unique sound of Western R&B.
So that's where you got DeBarge from. From Grand Rapids to their career and success in LA. Like they from. I knew they were from the Midwest, but okay. Pointer Sisters, okay. The Whispers, that's where you got En Vogue from. All right, cool. Tower of Power. All right. Confunction. All right. Okay. See, I hadn't Googled this. I wasn't put on. Y'all got me on this one. Okay. All right. What the hell? I just saw something crazy. Okay. So I saw. Okay. The band was formed. This is Earth, Wind, and Fire. The band was formed by Maurice White, originating out of the Salty Peppers. What's that? Its history includes a hiatus from mid 1984 to 87. Probably. Okay. All right. They not from LA. That has nothing to do with nothing. I saw it. Okay. What we got? The Whispers, Platters, Fifth Dimensions. The Bars, they were born in Michigan, in Detroit. Yeah, because I don't like Grand Rapids. For some reason, I thought they was from Minnesota. But okay. Yeah. Michigan. There's more artists on East Coast than the West Coast. Possibly. But there's a good chance we just haven't really. See, as we as we continue this series, like when we start doing the East Coast, and then when we do the Midwest, because the Midwest had so many good bands that came out of that, particularly the funk era. You know what I mean? Ohio alone had so many good funk groups come out of there. So it depends on, what genre you're talking about and what era you might be talking about. But everybody gonna get their chance. Tom says, wait till we get to Cleveland. Well, let's talk about that now. As we start to draw to a close. What should we do? Which area should we do next week? Let's get that solidified now. So we did the West Coast this week. Next week, should we do the East Coast? Should we do the Midwest, or should we do the Dirty South? What do y'all say? What do y'all say? Since y'all made it to this show, y'all get to decide which direction we go next week. Tori, you say the Dirty South next week? Okay, we got one vote for Dirty South. Y'all better make it happen, or it'll be like we going to do the Dirty South because Tori says so. Time says, let's do it. Let's do Detroit. We not doing one place. It's the Midwest, or this is a regional thing. So it's either the East Coast, the Dirty South, or the Midwest. Not Detroit. We're not doing states. We'll have 50 shows lined up for 50 weeks. No. So look, so far we only have one vote. Damn, Axel talking about Norwegian hip hop. All right, we got to vote for Norwegian hip hop. If we get 2, we go. Let me see y'all how y'all struggle with that next week. All right, let's see this. Time says, let's do the Dirty South like Tori said. All right, we can do the Dirty South next week. That ain't going to be hard. A lot of groups came out of the South. You know what I mean? Especially when you start getting into jazz, blues, coming up rock and roll. Rock and roll was pretty much born in the South. So, okay, we'll do the Dirty South next week. All right, y'all heard it here. We did the West Coast, and I think y'all did a pretty good job with the West Coast for this first installment. We'll do the Dirty South next week. All right. Chitlin Circuit, word. There's a whole bunch of groups came out of the South. Let me get one off right now. The Ghetto Boys, My Mind is Playing Tricks on Me. Yeah. But not just hip hop. But yeah. So that should be a pretty good show. And we might learn a little something next week. All right, let's go to the poll question. The poll question is, does it matter who calls who more in a friendship or relationship? So if you're friends with somebody or you going with somebody or whatever, and let's say y'all don't, I don't know. You know, we're talking about a communication thing. Does it matter who picks up the phone and calls the other person more? Does it matter? Well, let's see. 41%, the overwhelming majority said no, as long as the calls are accepted. So it doesn't matter if I call you more or you call me, as long as you pick up when I call, or it's not a problem, you know, about the calls. Okay, cool. 30% said it matters if one does all the calling. So if it's really unbalanced, it's like, dang, the only time we ever talk is if I call you. You don't never call me. Why can't you ever call me? You know, like, am I the only one that wants to talk? I understand. 15% said it matters if it's really one-sided. So pretty much like the second one. It matters if it's really just one-sided. Like, the only time we talk is when I call you, or the only time we talk is when you call me. All right. And 15% said only miserable people even care about that. So it shouldn't matter, but you got to just be a Debbie Downer, you know, to care about, well, you know, only time we ever talk is when you go. Listen, I mean, if that's the way you feel, that's the way you feel. I get it. I get it. I receive that. All right. Good poll. All right, let's do these birthday shout outs. And then I'm gonna let you good people get on with the rest of with your day, your beautiful day coming up. All right. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious July 24th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them. Making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are SPECIAL. Look at the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. Look at the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. Look at the RESPECT. They get number one out the box. Witset Juan and GGX Jones, Okia Boyd, Jiminita, Neat, Austin, Oshakia, Stacy Stedman, Marie Freedom, Steve Reese, and my boy Oliver Thomas Jessup Jr. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all a good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious August 24th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, the rock out. Rock on and do the damn, rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. Anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, West Coast. Yeah, that's a good look. Yeah, it's a good group, a good artist, a good book. A lot of talents coming out the West. Yo, you could say it's the best or even a little less. Doesn't matter exactly where you're from, as long as you coming on. Make sure, son, that it sounded good when I put my earphones on and I was listening to it. The whole day was real long. And I was liking what I was hearing. And I was thinking, yo, I'm ready to go out there and start cheering. Have you ever been to the West? And if you ever been out there, you'd be like, yo, nothing less will ever do, because it got breathtaking views. You be over the mountains. Yeah, you be like, oh, looking good out here. Make you get inspired. Make you be like, on a higher plane. I'm going to do my thing. I'm not ashamed. And I'm going to make sure like Taylor Dane. Yeah, back in the 80s. Yo, hold on. Listen to the lady. I said she had a good voice. Yo, it was a good choice, but she's not from the West, so she ain't in this thing. It's all right. The queens and kings. I'm going to make sure that give you a call. The thing ring. I'm going to see y'all today, later on today, about 2 o'clock, I would say, East Coast time. Make sure y'all listen to the Urban Therapy with Sunshine. So I'ma just check out, make sure that the love and respect route is always follow, beg, steal, and borrow. We ain't got to do none of that right now, but tomorrow, you just don't know. You know what another day brings. But today might be all right. Another thing, well, just come over you and just kind of bestow. Hopefully you paid your bills and you don't owe. You got a little cash to go shopping a little, buy yourself a little something, treat yourself. Don't beat yourself. All right. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. I love y'all right back to life. We will be back later on today, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. So go ahead and get some rest right now. Get a little shut eye. You know what I mean? And I will holler at y'all tomorrow, today, yo. And thanks for coming through, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Remember, keep Troy inside in y'all prayers, man. You know what I mean? He has a family issue, little emergency issue, and I'm going to make sure that he knows that his people, support him, because we do. We care. All right. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Yo, thank Axel. Thank you for the super chats once again. Love is love.